You'll never get to a person's soul until you understand their hurts. Now, the late Ravi Zacharias, Christian apologetic, passed away earlier today at the time of this recording. And he was quite the spiritual leader, especially in the Christian community, the religious community. It had me thinking about a lot of different things that he stood for, more so specifically this quote in particular. And this quote applies so well to what is going on in this article that I'm about to read to you guys. And we're going to break it down because I feel like moving forward, we have a lot that we can take from this and other things that are going on in the world right now. And a lot of times there's voices and there's people hurting out there that have no way of communicating their hurt, no way of communicating the frustration, the things that they've been through, the things they've seen, the things they've witnessed. And a lot of times what they'll do is they'll act upon things, whether it's violently, whether it's saying words that they shouldn't necessarily say that are hurtful. Whatever it is, we tend to usually judge someone and look at what they've done in their lives instead of looking at that person's soul and what events possibly led them to actually getting to that dark place. What events led them to doing some certain crime, committing some certain type of act of violence, whatever it is. We tend to just look at the outward things that went on, the problems, the issues with that person, the damage and the destruction that they left behind, instead of really getting to the root of the problem and the root of the situation. And this is going to be a darker video, all right? This is going to be a very dark video for a lot of you guys because it's a truth pill, all right? This is going to be a very true video, and I'm going to keep it really real with you guys. We're going to check out this article posted by Global News, which is going to talk about an incel-related attack on a Toronto massage parlor, erotic spa, something like that. And I'm going to break it down to you as to why we, and this is going to sound dark, can expect more of these things to happen. Because there is a huge misunderstanding and misrepresentation of men in this society and men that are hurting and men that have been affected by a lot of things that go on that are unspoken of. Instead, we look at the dark side of things. We look at the crimes that these men commit instead of really seeing what the root of the problem is and what the root of the issue is. We tend to label people incel or whatever it is. I'm not an incel, but I'm sure we have incels on this channel, okay? And I'm sure we have incels in the Red Pill community, MGTOW community itself. And I can't judge you for that. I've never been through anything like that. And a lot of times people tend to label incels under derogatory names and say this and that about them. I have no issue with incels, all right? I really don't. The violent ones I do, but the ones that have just completely given up, I have no issue with them. That is their personal decision. That is their choice. Do I necessarily agree with all of it? Not really. Do I understand that this world is effed up and there's a lot of crazy chicks out there that'll screw up your life and make you really want to do things that maybe aren't necessarily the smartest decisions and the best things to do? Yes, I completely understand. I've seen it firsthand. I've been on both sides. All right, guys, so I'm going to read this article and you guys can leave feedback while I read it in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. And I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts while I'm reading this, obviously. So it starts off saying, deadly attack at Toronto erotic spa was incel terrorism, police allege. A deadly attack at a Toronto erotic massage parlor 3 months ago is now being treated as an act of terrorism after police allegedly uncovered evidence it was inspired by a misogynist incel ideology. Charges against the suspect accused of carrying out the February 24 stabbing attack, which killed a woman and injured another, were updated in court on Tuesday to murder terrorist activity. So I think what this guy did was he decided to go to an erotic massage parlor and he stabbed one of the erotic masseuses or something like that, ended up killing one, harmed the other one. The suspect, who cannot be named because he is a minor, was also charged with terrorism and alleged attempt for murder of a woman who survived. He was already facing first degree and attempted murder charges, but the development means police believe the incident was terrorism related. In a joint statement, the RCMP and Toronto Police Service said their investigation had determined the attack was inspired by the ideologically motivated violent extremist movement commonly known as incel. As a result, federal and provincial attorney generals have consented to commence terrorist proceedings, alleging that the murder was terrorist activity and the attempted murder was terrorist activity. Experts say it was the first time a terrorist charge had been laid over violence tied to incels. a term that refers to self-described involuntary celibates. It is also believed to be the first time Canada's anti-terrorism laws have been used to prosecute an act of violence by a suspect who is not an Islamic extremist. A police source told Global News the suspect had said he wanted to kill as many women as possible. And in no way am I condoning this, but we're going to keep reading this. The woman who survived the attack said in an interview she was pleased with the terrorism charges and the Canadians should be more informed about incels. Quote, "I'm overjoyed about the news that they decided to charge him with the terrorism stuff. I hope it sticks," said the woman who asked not to be named. The incident points to the evolving threat posed by the incel movement, which recent papers said was flourishing, ideologically involving, and continuing to threaten more attacks. Almost 50 deaths in Canada and the United States have been linked to incels, according to calls to treat their actions as a form of domestic terrorism. So basically, they go on to describe more of the incel community without really getting at the root of everything and the root of the issue. Because, listen, in no way am I justifying what incels do, all right? In no way am I doing that. Rest in peace to the families that were affected by this. In no way am I promoting violence or anything, but I'm just saying, let's understand these people. Let's understand where this is coming from. Let's understand why young men, this is a minor, why he is struggling, why he feels the need to go out and commit these violent acts. Just like Ravi Zacharias said, you'll never get to a person's soul until you understand their hurts. But what we tend to do in society is we tend to look at a person's destruction and damage that they've caused and distributed, whatever it is in their lifetime, instead of looking at the root of the issue, which is internal. They're internally hurting, they're broken, they're lost. What has led them to that point? I'm sure a lot of things have led this young man to this point. And instead, we label him a terrorist, we shame him, and in no way am I justifying, in no way I'm justifying, but I'm saying there's going to be more of this going on. There's going to be more of this. They just said that it's rising. I know it's going to rise. There's tons of men out there that are starting to get fed up, all right? And I'm not promoting any violence. I'm just speaking passionately about these things. I'm not an incel. I do not promote violent inceldom. But I understand where they're coming from. I understand, in a sense, exactly why some of them get to this point and why they're hurting. Do I think it's right that they act in violence? Absolutely not. No. Do I think there's a deeper issue and it shows, and that these incidents like this shine a light on maybe some of the darker aspects of society and what really is the root of the problem, and what feminism and what all these agenda pushing things have done, male shaming tactics, all these different things? Yes, I think it shines a light on a lot of these different issues that, quite frankly, the news, the media, they don't want to touch this stuff. It's too deep. It digs too deep. And it comes from such a place of pain and hurt and anger that it's better left untouched and just labeled terrorist activity than to really be looked at and dissected at what the root of the problem is. So that's kind of the article I wanted to share with you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. In no way am I promoting this kind of stuff, and am I saying it's a good decision and that incel violence is a right thing to do. But just understand that you'll never get to a person's soul and what is in them, what drives them, until you realize the hurt that they've been through. That's all I'm going to leave that video at. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know if you have anything that you'd like to add. Maybe I missed a few points. I love to hear you guys' opinion. I love sharing all our ideas on this channel, just bouncing ideas off each other's heads. It's really quite refreshing just having a community of brothers where we're able to talk to each other, bounce ideas back and forth off each other, and help each other out, help each other better understand the world, make this world a better place than when we left it. Thank you guys for watching the video. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on all notifications, and share the video. Let me know your thoughts below.